And the last tip B is use your tools wisely and effectively. How many of you use Photoshop for design? How many else use other things like fireworks? Use fireworks. Use fireworks. How many of you use Illustrator? Illustrator for graphics and icons. Who knows what is the last one?
Sketch.
Sketch. Who uses Sketch? Use Sketch? Yeah. Okay. I think for me, tools is very important, but how do you master your tools to help you come up with something faster? The word here is faster because you want a rapid prototype. You want to keep coming up with something faster so you can keep asking feedback from your team members faster. So you can keep changing your stuff quickly without actually taking one week to come up with one page. So when suddenly your friend, your teammate asks, let's try to change this here to here, and then you can give me 2 hours. That's not fast enough. When he wants you to change something, you should be able to show it immediately. Okay, let's change it now, and then you should be able to see the changes immediately. That's how I mean by use your tools effectively. Personally, for me, I used Fireworks last time because it really helps you to prototype faster. And now I'm using Sketch for UI elements because it's it's a vector-based elements. And for example, I think it's good for mobile design as well, for elements in your mobile design. Okay, but tools is like this. I'm not forcing you guys to change tools or anything. It's all up to you. But the most important thing is master the tools, all the keyboard shortcuts, all the filters, or all the things that make things faster. Give you one story. I have a colleague last time who was a designer, and one of our developers keep complaining about him that he's too slow. Every time I want to build a feature, it's like the mock is very slow. So we asked him, why do you think he's slow? And then he said, because he's not using keyboard shortcuts. So he actually print up all the keyboard shortcuts for Photoshop and put it in front of his computer. So use this, make your workflow faster, because it helps other people as well. It's not, you don't want to sit down one day and just one website, one view. So it's not helping you, it's not helping your team, right? So master your tool, or go through all the keyboard shortcuts. Know if you have a common things that you do every day, find a thing to make it faster. Like Fireworks, we have symbol. You can keep using symbol every time without having to recreate everything again. Probably Photoshop have it, but I don't know. Maybe like canvas and stuff. Yeah, push for more iterations for your box as fast as you can. Don't get distracted with the pixel perfection that is necessary. For the first time, you come up with your mocks and stuff. Just try to focus on what's important on the view, what's needed there, and how the structure is gonna look like. Don't care about is it the right color, the right width. Just focus on the content and the structure of the design itself first. And following the previous tip, create, expand, iterate, and repeat. Don't spend too much time on one design. Just keep coming up with different iteration all the time. Even though that your colleague asks you to design this view, for example, this about page, and you just focus like one day, just one design perfect. And then when he looks at it, you say, oh, this is not what we want something like this. And then you waste your one day doing the same thing, try to perfect everything, but actually it's not the final output that you want. So you come up with different kind of iteration all the time. So you don't have to make it perfect 100%. You just make several iterations, and then quickly ask for feedback from your team members. Continue iteration based on design requirement, keeping every iteration for reference. For example, in Fireworks, I'll show you one of the old stuff that I did last time. If you see, this is not real design, it's just like a block of stuff. So there's this is the requirement. The requirement is, there's a title there, there's some buttons there, a description, there's some thumbnails, there's a button to add video, there's a button to add picture, link, and there's a timeline of stuff that you use to edit. I don't care about the design yet right now. At this moment, the important part is the structure. So what other stuff you want to look at?
This is all I see you guys doing in the office back in Malaysia. All the designers are just working on this.
This is the most important part when you come up with the design, the feature of the design. You just put everything in blocks, different weird colors. This is not a final color, obviously. So you just come up with different, let's try the timeline to have 2 columns, and you put it there. Let's try, Yeah, then you see if the two columns make sense or not. If it doesn't make sense, go back to the first column and try to change something else. And then try to put the thumbnail out there, and yeah, two columns, combination of two columns and one column. Or if it doesn't like it, go to one column. Make the thumbnail smaller, make the tabs bigger, or put the thumbnail up there. So all of these are not different, not based on, so all of how many of these, like 7, it's not made in 7 days. It's all made probably in half an hour. Because you make something and you want to change it, but you don't want to remove, you don't want to delete the one that you made earlier on. You create, you duplicate the same thing and you change based on that. You put the first design that you did as a reference for later on. You keep iterating. So for one design, you can come up with 7 iterations. So let's say my flip method come and say, why don't we try 2 columns? Now I already have an option to show you. Now this is how it is 2 columns. So without him asking you to do 2 columns, you come up with different iterations. So when they ask you how it looks with the thumbnail up there, then I have the thumbnail up there for you to see how it looks. So this iteration, make it super fast. Don't care about how the font, don't care about the color. Just put to separate. As long as you can see the structure of the design, it's good enough for you to get the feedback. Feedback loop is very important in product design, so you can decide which one is the best one and proceed from there. So the most important, like fireworks for example, we have the pages feature, it's called pages. So every time you create a view in one page, you just duplicate the page and just continue from there. You just change what you want. And if you like it, and then you want to try something else, you duplicate it and create something else. Just expand. You create, you change what you want, you expand from it, and then you repeat. Okay. Another example. So this is like a guide view. So this is the first example that I did. And then I want to see if is easy for user. Is it easy for them to incorporate that circle is belong to that paragraph? So I try something else. Is the circle make sense? I try something else. Put color coded. Instead of using circle, I use square. And try different one. Try to put on the side. Instead of left, put it on the right. So I have 3 iterations of almost the same design, but 3 different iterations. So when my boss comes, I'll try how it looks with the one on the right. So I have the thing to show him. Right. So this iteration is very important. Keep everything, keep every iteration for your reference later, so you know how it looks. You know, rapid iteration is very important. Right. So if you cannot duplicate anymore, I cannot iterate on this anymore. So start fresh when you get stuck. Like, okay, this really doesn't help me to get a better design. So start from the next level. But you keep all the previous ones. Right, I think that's all for me. Any questions?
What are the instructions that you usually pass to your designer?
Instructions. I think the most important thing is get all the requirements correct.
Sorry, not your designer, but the developer. Once you've done all your designs, what are the states and all, how do you the spec sheets and all that?
Yeah, actually, for example, in our company, we have before even the design in the development part, we have a whole spec sheet first. So we know what the business requirement. We want this feature to be like this. When user do this, what happens, it's all everything in the spec sheet. So when designer work on it, they come out with all these states, all these interaction, and design. And after the developer look at it, because most of our designers also do front end, so we actually do it front end first before even integrate with the back end. So based on this spec sheet, both designer and developer know what to do, and then the mock and the front end actually help the developer to continue further. Yeah, I think the spec sheet is it's a very important thing. Even for us, we make it straight. For everyone who want to ask for a feature, want to request for a new feature, they have to find out what are the requirements. They have to come up with very strict requirements so that we can work on something.
So the designer and the developer participates in the product roadmap. Yeah.
Mostly after they know what they want first. So we have for example, in our process, we have every week we have a meeting. All the requests that are being requested by
features and all that.
Features, then we discuss about it, whether the requirements is enough for us to start working on it or not.
So what is the Do you all use Agile to
Yeah, we
work?
use Scrum Agile.
Right, okay.
I think my colleague gonna share about the process that we use later. He's gonna be on Hangout, Google Hangout soon. Yeah, he's gonna share about all the process that we do to manage all these requests. Right.
How about the process about user testing? How are you involved in the user test?
For us, we don't spend. We haven't invested a lot of time on the user testing. Most of us we test among ourselves.
Internally.
Not in just the testing. We have a different team to test our product before we actually put it on production.
Sometimes you do the split testing
That's okay.
for different designs.
But do you all get crazy about the colors and all that? What colors work and what don't for buttons? And
We haven't gone to up that level yet. Yeah.
You drive me crazy with the colors on the Android app because he does all the designs for the Android. It's changing.
okay.
So he's obsessed about the colors. He just don't like to admit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah. Anything? Okay. Even if anyone wants to like share their own tips, or anyone who are involved in product designing before, can share with everyone. I might not be. I probably haven't covered everything, right? Because it's just like 5 or 6. So if you want anything else you want to share with everyone,
Yeah. Ya guys, kan ini bukan apa ya, kita di sini bisa saling sharing ya, sharing knowledge. Kalau misalnya ada masukan atau ada pendapat lain, bisa teman-teman langsung kasih tahu aja gitu. Ya.
Actually, I thought it might be good if you could share with them what are the sites you always check out or the blogs you always read and stuff like that.
I think the important thing for product designers is to get a good inspiration and reference when it comes to best practice in designing your product. I'll give you an example of this is something that you probably have to read after this. This is called transitional interface. Have anyone read this before?
I think I browsed through it.
Yeah, this guy is an animator, but he's also involved UI and web app development now. So he wrote this article about using animation and transition in your app to help the user. So for example, you can read about the theory and stuff. I give an example here. So let's say you want to add something to a list. So without animation, it's just like abrupt there, right? It's like there's no interaction, there's no transition there. So user might get lost. Which one is the one that I added this now? So if you use transition, for example, use a bit of subtle animation there. So the transition is very important. Yeah, try to read this. It's called transition interface. And for those who I'm doing a lot of like mobile design. This was try to look at patterns.com. Patterns without the vowel. There's a lot of examples. Even they have categorized it like walkthrough, sign up form, and save. So there's a lot of examples that they're categorized based on the category of the view. So you can see how people do something. For example, what is the best way for you to do onboarding in your app? So there's a lot of examples from different apps from them. So you can look at it, how they approach the same problem that you are having right now. This is I think for me I just go into mobile design, mobile development. This is really important reference for me. And of course, designers probably know Dribble. Yeah. There's but I think for me, for mobile developers especially, mobile designers, you can use this as a reference of how the best practice to solve certain issues when it comes to your product. And the normal stuff probably like sidebar. So the sidebar is like 5 links that you can get every day. So quite a good resource for you to read a lot more about development for product design. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion here as well. And the rest is just normal blogs, probably you guys know already, especially magazines. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Or if you have any question later, you can. It's difficult thing for you to pronounce pictures. You can come to me if you need any question. Or you can just come talk to me. I'm gonna be here till next week, until Friday. Okay, we'd love to talk to you guys about your product as well. We also need help for you for local technicians. Okay, one more question. Thank you.